Hi everybody. I just wanted to share a dream that I had about 3 weeks ago, and I shared it on Brother Mike's Son of a King, one of the episodes, and it was just an awesome rapture dream. And I just wanted to just get it recorded so that I could share it with everybody. And it just basically it started. I was in this like department store, and um, I was walking around. There was all these people, and then all of a sudden the whole entire like wall that was like facing the street, like just the wall in the store just disappeared, so I could see directly out into the street. And I was looking at other people, and people were just walking around, just going about their day as usual. And I said, you guys don't see that the whole wall is like missing, and like all these people were being gathered um, into this parking lot. And I saw this angel, and I was thinking, oh, the rapture is about to happen. And so I was wondering why all these people were getting gathered and I wasn't getting gathered. So I looked at the angel and I asked the angel, am I not going to get to go? And so the angel just shook his head and said no. So my heart just like fell, like it just like hit the floor. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm not going to get to go. And he shook his head no. So I basically just I thought about it, and it sunk in. It like took maybe like a few seconds, and then I said no. I was like, Lord, whatever it is, I was like, I'm sorry. I don't want to be left here. You're about to take people. You're about to take everybody home, and I don't want to be left here. I don't want to be left here for the things that are about to come. And so I just said, Lord, please forgive me. Whatever it is that I did, I just asked him to forgive me. And then I looked at the angel, and then the angel said, now you can go. So then all of a sudden, it switched, and I was outside, and I was one of the people being gathered outside. So we get on this bus, and it was like a charter bus. And when we get on the bus, Jesus is on this bus, y'all. And I sit in like a seat like next to him, and like of course we were all like excited, and we were like, people was like talking to him, and I didn't say anything at first. I was just sitting there, and like he was huge, y'all. He was huge. He like had huge muscular arms, and I mean he was like not a little guy, like how like they portray him like on the paintings and pictures and things like that. It nothing like that. So um we sitting on this bus, and then the bus starts to take off, and then we go up into the sky, and we're like up in the clouds, and then we get into outer space. And when we get into outer space, the the bus starts shaking, and so I get scared. But in the middle of all of this, I just started thinking, don't look back, don't look back. So I didn't look back. I just focused on Jesus, and I just looked at him. And so I just grabbed his arm real tight, and I just put my head down. But oh yeah, and before I did that, there was like five other people. They were holding on to his right arm, and I was sitting on his left. So I grabbed his left arm, and I just buried my head into his arm. And then I just kept my head just down on him, and I just rested on him. And then the next thing I knew, when I woke up and I opened my eyes, we were landing in heaven. Oh my gosh. So then we get off this bus, and then we're in this big parking lot of this big place. I don't know if it was like a big castle, but it kind of reminded me like this big huge like fancy like ski lodge. Like it was like huge, and like the doors were like 10 times the size of a regular door. But we were all out in this parking lot, and there was other angels, and there was all these people. And mind you, I didn't know anybody on the bus that I was on, so I probably just like where I was when the rapture had taken place. So I remember getting off this bus and just like taking my first breath in heaven, and just trying to take in like what it smelled like, and like all the different colors and how bright it was, and just saying, oh my gosh, I've been waiting on this my whole life, just to just smell what heaven smelled like. And then it just sunk in, like we were all celebrating and just thanking God that we made it once we got off the bus. And then I started like asking angels for people that I knew. And then like I was asking, like, did such and such make it? And then the angel was like, no, they didn't make it. And I was like, what? So then I started asking for other people, and I kept getting no, they didn't make it. And it was just like you took a moment to like soak in, and you felt like a moment of sadness, but then it was like after like that moment, that was like taken away from you. You didn't focus on that anymore. And so you just basically focused on what was in front of you, and that was just being in heaven and being with other saints. And so we were like so excited. So we go inside this like place. I'm saying it's a lobby, because it looked like I said, it looked like a, I couldn't tell if it was a castle or if it was like some type of huge resort. But anyway, we get into the lobby, and it's huge. And we, like, I see like this huge table, and I could tell that people had been there before us. And there were some plates and things that were placed to the side or whatnot. And like when we get there, there's this like huge screen. It looked like a television. And there was like this weird looking like remote. Somehow I knew that it was the remote to this screen. And it kind of puts you in the mind of Netflix. And like I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, heaven has a Netflix. Like seriously? So like you could either like look at like what, different things that were on the screen. Like you could pick and choose like what you wanted to watch, like if it like a show or whatever. And I remember some things that that were shown down here, and I was like, oh, I used to watch that show on Earth. And like, like wholesome, TV. But I also remember that if we wanted to, there was where you could like pick on the screen where you could like look down on Earth and see what was going on the Earth. And I thought that was really cool. And then I remember we were sitting at this table. It was like our turn, and we were sitting down, and we like had like a little meal with Jesus, and like we were talking to him. And I remember like this little kid that um he couldn't have been no more than maybe like 4 or 5. He came up and he sat down next to me, and I sat like directly across from Jesus. And I remember the little boy saying, "What can I call you?" And he said, um, "You can call me Doctor." And then he busted out laughing. He just chuckled. And I was like, oh my gosh, the Lord has a laugh. It's so cute. It's so infectious. So I just remember him laughing and just chuckling. And then listening to the little boy, it made me think, okay, like, Lord, what should I call you? So I looked at him and I said, Lord, well, what should I call you? And he said, you can call me Yeshua. And I said, okay, Lord, Yeshua it is. And so after that, he like talked to us a little bit more, and he like answered questions. And I just remember him smiling, and everybody just wanted to just talk to him. And then he told us that he had to get up and that he had to leave. And so that he said that he would be back. So I talked to some people, and I was like, well, hey, let's clean up, for the next people that decide to come. And Then the words "there will be four waves" um, was said. So I don't know what that means. But if y'all have like an interpretation or know anybody, I don't know what the four waves means, but it was said that there will be four waves. And so we were all cleaning the place up, and we cleaned up the dishes and everything so that the next people could be that they would have clean dishes when they came to eat. And then after Jesus left, I remember there was a young, like maybe like a teenage boy, and his mother. They got raptured in the group that I was with, and I knew that the lady, in my dream, I knew that the lady had lost a son, and all of a sudden, a doorbell rang, and then a knock came. So somebody said, "Guess who's here?" That's what the voice said. So we all looked at the door, and when the door opened, it was the lady's son that she had lost from a long time ago. So her and her son were reunited, and the brother was reunited, and I got to see them reunite for the first time in heaven, and it was just like so touching. And I remember that. And then I also remember after we all just got finished talking and like fellowshipping with each other, we were led through another set of huge doors. And then, like, everybody was given like keys or room, we had a room to go to. And so it was kind of like a hotel or whatever have you, but it was like super fancy, and everything was just extra, just decked out, and just it was extra fancy. It was just so just beautiful. And like we all had our own rooms, and we were preparing for something. Like it was, I don't know if we was going somewhere special, but I know that we were all being gathered at this resort, but I wasn't, shown what the purpose of, us being at this resort together was. And then I woke up, and I just think that, God was showing me almost getting left to show people what it's like. Because, I mean, it could be anybody. Just because you have a ministry, or just because you might think that you're doing something, without Jesus, with, he's the main reason of why we're all here. We can't get to heaven without him. He's the focal point. He's the only way. And basically anybody could get left here. So don't get caught sleeping. When he returns, we want to be found doing his work, and we want to be found uh, just looking for him, and just having our hearts prepared to meet him, because that's what it's all about. We're waiting for that blessed hope. So we just want to just continue to just be watchful and stay repentant, and just continue to pray and read your word, and just draw closer to God, because that's what we all should be doing in these final moments, because we don't know, he could come any moment, any second. And just continue to just try to just do your best, and just continue to stay repentant, and just continue to just pray for all souls. you know we all matter to him. And just continue to just show love, and continue to pray for this dark world, because it's getting darker every day. Continue to try your best to be a light, and be a beacon of hope, where some may not have any. Just and let people know that Jesus loves them so much in these final moments, in these final seconds. Every moment counts. And I just wanted to just pass this dream on, because it was so real. It seemed like it lasted forever, but it, the fact that I can still remember all this 3 weeks after, it was so real to me. And I just wanted to tell y'all that Jesus is real. and He's the only way, and narrow is the path. So just try your best. Continue to stay repentant, and continue to try to keep His commandments as much as you possibly can. And I love you guys, and just pray for me, and I'm praying for you guys every day, praying for the body of Christ, and I love you guys so much. God bless.